Hello everyone and welcome to Sharpness Gaming, and today we're back with the final episode of Doubles Time on Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. We will be rebooting it for Pokemon Sun and Moon, which, if I have calculated correctly, should be coming out. Let me think here. So that week goes there, that week goes there. I think I'm a week short. So it will be coming out next Friday. Unfortunately, I did not get enough teams in time, but we got pretty close up to that release. But today we are back with the Misdreavus Rampardos team, and I am loving it. I actually love it so much I use it off camera, and I've not done that in a long time. Unfortunately, off camera I lost one, and the one I lost I brought Scizor, so that doesn't bode too well for Scizor. Let's hop into this battle. We are finally over 1600 at 1610 with 18 wins, 11 losses. Let's see what we can do in today's episode. Hopefully get 2 wins. Hopefully we can end off with 2 wins for our final episode in the Pokemon Oris Doubles Time. We have Delano from Rhode Island, 1626 rating. With, I see a Thundurus, I see a Ludi, and a Scizor as well, and a Kangaskhan, a Heatran, and a Cresselia. So, manual rain it looks like. Or maybe a alternate rain team. Who really knows? But let's see what we can do here. So I can lead Misdreavus. I think Misdreavus Hariyama will be a good lead. He could lead Ludi and Kanga, would be our only problem. But Flareon in the back is going to be good here, as well as Scizor. That looks like a team to me. Let's go with it. We will have to keep either Flareon or Hariyama around for the Heatran. He could obviously not bring Heatran because of Gastrodon, and I don't really see anything Heatran. I mean, it's good against Scizor. So he might bring it. I'm going to drop down the webcam a little bit. Bring it back up a little bit, you know, center it up real good. So let's see. We have to make sure Heatran's not here before we get rid of both Flareon and Hariyama, because Scizor isn't going to be able to deal with them. It doesn't have, or won't be able to deal with it. It doesn't have a move. Both of its moves are 4 times resisted, because it's a Swords Dance Scizor. So really, we only need Scizor for the Ludicolo and the Cresselia. We will have to remember that. Hariyama's close combat will do a ton to that Heatran, as well as superpower from the Flareon. As long as he doesn't lead Kangaskhan and Ludicolo, he should be fine. Because that way he'll be able to fake out both my Pokemon. But whereas if he leads just Kangaskhan and something else, then he won't be able to do that. He could lead Kangaskhan Thundurus. It's Ludicolo Cresselia, though, actually. Surprisingly enough. It is going to be the Ludicress. So I'm going to set up Trick Room, and I'm going to fake out the Cresselia. I'm assuming Ludicolo fakes out my Hariyama here. And then Cress might Trick Room as well. I'm assuming that's why he led with Cress, so just to reverse my Trick Room. Which would be annoying, because there's no real reason to do that. And I don't see why he'd be carrying Trick Room on his Cresselia. There's not really any Pokemon that advantage from it with his team. He is going to fake out my Hariyama. I kind of assumed that was going to happen. Cresselia just goes straight for Calm Mind, though. That's not good. We don't like to see that. I wonder if it's Mental Herb, because I can taunt it on the following turn, if it is. Well, we're going to set up Trick Room here. And I'm going to taunt Cresselia and close combat. Knock off the Cresselia. Hariyama might actually underspeed Misdreavus, so he might be able to knock off before we taunt. I'm pretty sure Hariyama underspeeds Misdreavus, if I remember correctly. Yep. So Misdreavus is ungodly fast for being... Oh, it's a Rocky Helmet Cresselia. Huh, interesting. Well, now I can taunt it. So no more Calm Minds for you. There it is. We see a Scald come out from the Ludicolo. Goes into Misdreavus. No burn. So Misdreavus is going to Shadow Ball the Cresselia. I'm going to switch Hariyama out for Skizzy. Skizza. And this way, I can basically take care of the Cresselia on the following turn. Hariyama does switch. In comes the Skiz. We're going to see Shadow Ball from Misdreavus. It still does a good amount of damage for... Oh, it's a critical hit. We're going to see Psychic from Cresselia on the Scizor. That's fine. We should eat that. Eat that for breakfast, lunch, and din. And then we see Skull from Ludicolo. I assume into Misdreavus? Yes. Into Misdreavus. No burn still, which is nice. It could be a Solvest Ludi, so I'm going to Will-O-Wisp Ludicolo and just Bug Bite the... I could Bug Bite the Crest, but I think it's switching to Heatran. I'm going to Shadow Ball Crest and Bug Bite the Ludi, because I should knock out Ludicolo. Go to Withdraw Cresselia. I assume into Heatran. We called it. We called it. Oh, wait. I just accidentally circled Scissor. I accidentally circled the Scissor. So, we're going to knock out the Ludi. Gonna knock out the Ludi. We get the Shadow Ball off onto the Heatran. Does almost nothing. I wonder if Crest comes back out here. Kangaskhan actually comes out. I gotta think here. So, Trick Roomed. We Shadow Balled at least twice and taunted. This is the last turn of Trick Room here. So if I can save... Okay, so we know his Pokemon here. So there's no Thundurus, no Scissor. So we don't necessarily need Flareon. I don't think it will be a bad idea to have it, but I'm going to try and Will-O-Wisp the Kangaskhan. I'm going to protect my Skizzy. Okay, Kangaskhan is going to Mega Evolve here, so it's not faking out my Misdreavus. So we will get the burn off on it. He doesn't know I have Will-O-Wisp, I haven't showed him it yet. So that's probably why he's not too worried about it. But I get the Protect off here. Unless he has Crunch. Sucker Punch. Probably was expecting another Shadow Ball, but I'm going to get the Will-O-Wisp off onto the Kangaskhan. Nice burn damage. And Heatran goes for Heat Wave. It does hit Misdreavus. Is it going to be able to bring us down to a point where another one... No, it's not doing close to anything. Twisted Dimensions do return to normal here. So I'm just going to go for another Trick Room. There's no reason not to. And Skizzy. Skizzy, my dude. I'm going to go into Flareon. I think Flareon will fare the best. It all depends on what Kangaskhan wants to do. I could see Power Up Punch coming from Kangaskhan into where Scissor was, because Kangaskhan will be for Heatran, so it can get the +2. Yep, Power Up Punch. Darn it. Darn it. I mean, it's not going to do it. That was a critical hit. It's not going to do a ton to us, but now he can Sucker Punch fairly freely, which is going to be annoying. Which will be fairly annoying. Heatran does go for that Heat Wave. It connects with both Pokemon. Should not knock out Misdreavus, and it doesn't even bring Jolt, or Flareon, sorry, to half. Sets up the Trick Room here. Did it just say Twist Dimensions return? Oh no, they return the normal. I do get Toxic Orb. So here, I'm gonna taunt Heatran and also superpower it. I should probably be more worried about the Kangaskhan, but I think we can deal with Kangaskhan a little bit easier than we can the Heatran. Personally. Yeah, we need to get Heatran out of here so Scissor can flourish. So Skizzy can flourish. I assume he Sucker Punches Flareon, though, and I think he'll take us out from here. Even though we are fairly bulky. Just because he is back to essentially neutral on his attack stat. But he might also think I'm just going to Flare Blitz into Kangaskhan. You might not know that Flareon carries superpower typically, but I'm not sure. I'm not sure what he's thinking right now. It all depends if the Heatran protects or not. He does switch the Kangaskhan, so he was probably assuming I Flare Blitz into it. But that just gets rid of his +2, which is fine by me. And Flareon's going to get the superpower off. This should knock out the Heatran, and we should be able to get a taunt off on Crest. Perfect. That should be game. Should be game, I say, but might not be. Heatran will faint here. Misdreavus will get the taunt off on the Crest. Flareon's going to take some toxic damage. And out comes the Kangaskhan once again. Now this turn, I'm going to Shadow Ball the Cresselia and also Flare Blitz the Cresselia. And this is just in case, so Kangaskhan can either fake out the Flareon or it can go for Sucker Punch on Misdreavus, expecting me to attack this turn. So that's why I want to double into Cress. I mean, I don't necessarily need to just because we do have Scissor in the back. I don't necessarily need to because we do have Scissor in the back, but I just think it's safer this way. He is going to fake out the Flareon, that's fine. It won't take us out, but Toxic will. That'll Toxic Tiki will. But Shadow Ball should take out the Cresselia from here. See ya! Misdreavus takes the KO on Cresselia. Never thought I'd see the day. Never thought I'd see the day. Flareon will faint here. But that just means I can bring in Kangaskhan. I mean, Hariyama, sorry. Did Twisted Dimensions return to normal this turn? I have not been counting. Because if they do, I'll fake out. If they don't, I'll just close combat. They do stick around this turn, so... I mean, Misdreavus can't do anything to the Kangaskhan. Oh, you know what I can do? Just to be a little cheeky. Will-O-Wisp my own Hariyama, because I have Guts, and then close combat. Kangaskhan is going to go for Sucker Punch on the Misdreavus, trying to get that last-minute KO, but it's not going to work. In close combat, we'll be able to knock out Kangaskhan. Woo, boy. This team is surprisingly good for being a 2017 team. I don't know if I mentioned this before. This is a VGC 2017 team, just so you're aware of that. But, yeah. We rocking this. If we get one more win, I will be happier than a clam on a Tuesday. I don't know how happy clams are on a Tuesday, but I'll be happier than that. I'll be happier than that. Battle box. Okay, one more match. We're at 16-26. And if we win this one, we're almost at 50-50 for, or 50% or for losses. I don't know. I don't know what I'm trying to say. We'll have double the wins that we would have lost, almost, because we had 11 losses. We do see a 17-27 rated player from Japan, so this is going to be tough. And we do see Volcarona, which was the problem I had off screen. So we see Melodic Kangaskhan, Thundurus, Landorus, Volcarona, and Ludicolo. Another Ludi. I think Gastron will be fairly good here, but there is the Ludicolo. So I think Skizzy will be pretty good as well. But I think Misdreavus Hariyama is going to be our lead. Skizzy in the back. I think Gastro. Gastric Acid, I think. I kind of want Rampardos, though. But Rampardos also doesn't have Ice Beam. I think Gastro's going to be better. Sorry, Rampardos. I really love you. I think we've used Rampardos fairly well. I don't think we used him very much, actually. I think he's only come to one match, but he... No, he come to two, right? I think he's come to two. I know I've used him at least twice. I do love Rampardos. I wish it could come here, but there's just too many threats. That Thundurus is a big threat. Kangaskhan can be, Ludicolo can be, and Melodic. It's just too much for him. Too much for him. He'd be really good against that Volcarona. We could Rock Slide it. The Thundurus as well. But alas, we'll probably see him in the official 2017 series, just because I do love him so much and he is part of it. So might as well use him if we have the chance. Depending on what the meta comes out to be. So we're going to see the double Genie lead. I've not seen this in quite a while. But that does mean we're good. We should be able to get off our Trick Room, because I can just fake out the Thundurus. I can just fake out the Thundy Scrundy. Go for that Trick Room here. Fake out Thundurus. As long as this Landorus isn't carrying Taunt for some strange reason, we'll be fine. We will be fine. That's why I love having a fake out user, because we can usually find the one Pokemon that's going to cause us a problem to set up Trick Room and fake it out. Unfortunately, most of the I do use like Hariyama. So, oh, he switches Landorus. Maybe fearing an Ice Punch? But in comes Kangaskhan. So we get the fake out off. Bop. That's going to flinch the Thundurus. I don't know. Why did he bring in Kangaskhan? I can close combat the poop out of that thing. Alright, so now what I do here is just Will-O-Wisp and close combat. I mean, I assume he fakes out taunts here, maybe? I don't know if he'll think about taunting still, though. when there's a threat like Hariyama on the field, and we've already gotten off Trick Room. He might not worry too much about it at that point. He might just Thunderbolt Hariyama after faking it out. That's why I want to try and go for Will-O-Wisp onto Kangaskhan. Gonna withdraw Kangaskhan. Why? Maybe to bring in the Landorus to intimidate me again. Okay. I see what you're trying to do here. I mean, it does show me of Kangaskhan, which is nice to know. I'm assuming you would have it anyway. He does go for Taunt on Misdreavus. No, on a Hariyama. Why? Hariyama doesn't typically carry any moves that you would need to Taunt for. So I'm going to get a Will-O-Wisp off onto your Landorus, which is perfect by me. Hiya! But that does mean I'm going to want to switch my my thing out. My Landorus. I mean, my Hariyama. Just trying to think what's going to be the biggest problem here. I'm going to try and Shadow Ball this Thunderous. And I'm going to bring in Gastrodon, because Gastrodon should be able to... if he tries to Thunderbolt Hariyama, then it's immune, and then it should bulk out a Earthquake pretty well. That was a very surprising play. He switches out Thunderous now. Is that into Kangaskhan? Into Kangaskhan. I should have Will-O-Wisp. I was so close to Will-O-Wisping that slot. Landorus goes for knockoff into Misdreavus this turn, though. That is going to bring me down to a point where I'm scared. But not as scared as I could be. So I'm going to Will-O-Wisp into Kangaskhan and also Scald into Kangaskhan. So we're trying to ensure the burn once again. Out switches the Landorus this time. Just a revolving door of Pokemon. Out comes Melodic this time. Probably expecting me to attack it. He's going to fake out the Misdreavus. That's why I also went for Scald into it. Burn. No burn. A Trick Room is still up, so I can go for another Willow here. And a Scald here. So in case he brings in that Landorus, it should faint. It should just faint. And if Thunderous comes in, it's getting burned and Scald, which it's not going to enjoy. Hey, he didn't bring Ludicolo, so bringing this Gastrodon was our best option. And he didn't bring the Volcarona either, so we don't have to worry about that as much. Yeah, Thunderous was going to be his best switch in, because Landorus wasn't going to like this. But I mean, oh, he got burned from the Scald. So Misdreavus' turn, unfortunately, is wasted. But I assume Scald... Safeguard! Your Melodic's not fast enough, my dude. Trick Room should end this turn. Yep. So... I assume he taunts and or Scalds into this slot. So I'm actually going to switch in the Hariyama. And then Gastrodon can go for Ice Beam into Thunderous. Gastrodon can go for Ice Beam into Thundy-Scrundy. He's going to want to bring in that Kangaskhan again at some point now that he's safeguarded. I'm surprised that Melodic has Safeguard. Because it might be Lum Melodic then. Because I think it's there to stop Dark Void Smeargle. And of course Smeargle's going to outspeed Melodic, so... I assume that's what he's going for here. But I have burned 2 of his Pokemon so far. I just wish we would have got the burn off on the Kangaskhan sooner. But we're looking really good. This Gastrodon cannot be touched by a lot of his Pokemon. Kangaskhan's really the only one that's going to be able to touch him at this point, and he'll be taking Rocky Helmet damage. We're going to see Thunderbolt, though, into Hariyama. We are Assault Vest, so we should take that. We see Icy Wind come out from Melodic. That's fine. I'm a slow Pokemon as it is. He must not have Ice Beam, though. And he can't Scald. That's right. I should have thought about that. He can't Scald because of Gastrodon being on the field. So we're going to Ice Beam into Thunderous. That's not going to take him out. Do you see Citrus? We do see Citrus. We do see that Citrus. And yeah, he didn't go for Taunt there because obviously he would have been able to take out Misdreavus from that range. And the Melodic, we're going to have to start attacking at some point. Especially because none of my Pokemon can really touch it. Yeah, he's also not really able to hurt us at this point either. I guess I just fake out Thunderous and Ice Beam that slot as well. He's going to withdraw the Melodic, though. And bring out who? Landorus, because he's trying to intimidate my Hariyama again. But I can just switch it out into Misdreavus. At this point, Misdreavus isn't doing a lot, so I'm not too worried about it. And Landorus does, or Thunderous, sorry, does protect here. So we're definitely going to be switching out into Misdreavus on this following turn, because I don't want Hariyama taking hits. I don't want the Hariyama taking hits. Although, I was going to say, that Landorus might not want to stay in here. Safeguard's still up, so I might as well, Scald should take him from here, and Scald's going to do more damage to Kangaskhan if it comes in. I think he's still normal Kangaskhan, too. Hariyama switches, so that means Landorus stays in. He's obviously going for Thunderbolt into the Hariyama slot. Trying to knock it out. Misdreavus, unfortunately, does faint to that. So no more Trick Room, no more Insured Burns, and he's going to go for Earthquake as well. He is burned, so it shouldn't do a ton of damage. Unfortunately, we don't have any recover on this Gastrodon, so that's going to hurt us in the long run, but... And unfortunately, Skull does not take out the Landorus, but the burn should take out both. Oh, it just misses taking out the Thundurus. But that will take out the Landorus. Now from here, I'm going to bring in Hariyama. Because again, if Melodic comes in, it can't hurt us. If Kangaskhan comes in... Okay, it's not Kangaskhan. Melodic can't hurt us, though. So I'm not worried about Melodic. I'm just going to go for Earth Powers onto Melodic to try and drop its special attack stat. I can just fake out this Landorus, make sure it doesn't get any last-minute damage off, and then go for Earth Power on Melodic. Try and get some drops. Get the fake out off. Yeah, I just went for a last-ditch attack, just in case I didn't fake him out. Just in case. And we see Icy Wind come out from Melodic. That's the only thing it can do at this point, just because Gastrodon being around. So I'm definitely going to want to protect my Gastrodon for sure. Because Gastrodon's going to be the one that's going to be able to bulk out this Melodic here. The team is also no longer protected by Safeguard. So that means I'm definitely Scalding into Kangaskhan this turn. I can actually both close combat. No. Let's think about this. Let's bring in the Scissor. And then go for Scald onto Kangaskhan. And then go for Scald onto the Kangaskhan. And we see this is not Leftovers Melodic, but we have seen Ice. We've only seen Safeguard and Icy Wind. So I'm assuming the last two moves are probably Scald and Recover. So that's going to get annoying. He is just going to straight up return. Yep, in a Scissor. He was trying to knock out the Hariyama. We see Safeguard come out from Melodic. We actually see Icy Wind, so we do have a chance to burn this turn. Which would be perfect. Scissor speed is going to drop here. That's fine. We are min-speed Pokemon. Going for that Scald. Can we burn him? We get the burn. That means Kangaskhan's out. So now we just have to make sure we get rid of the Kangaskhan before we take too much damage on the Gastrodon. And that just means I go for Bullet Punch on the Kangaskhan and protect Gastrodon this turn. Just protect the Gastro. I wonder what this Melodic has on it for an item. I wonder if it's Rocky Helmet, maybe? Bullet Punch, unfortunately, not able to take out the Kangaskhan, but the burn will this turn. And Low Kick doesn't even take out Scissor, but I'm assuming Icy Wind will? Icy Wind should. Actually, it doesn't. Another one probably won't even take it out at this range either. But burn will take out the Kangaskhan. So now he's just down to Melodic against my 3 Pokemon. Unfortunately, he does have a chance to bring it back here. Actually, he only has so many more Icy Winds. So as long as Gastrodon stays alive, we're fine. I'm going to Bug Bite here. I was going to Swords Dance, but the unfortunate thing is he's going to eventually be able to... Or he's going to knock out Scissor. Match is going to be forfeited. We pulled it through, boys. Yeah, him not bringing Ludicolo really socked him. I don't know why he didn't bring Ludicolo. That was like, he needed it to be able to beat Gastrodon. And that's why we're using Gastrodon, boys, because we got fooled by him so many times. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining us, not only on this episode of Doubles Time, but all the Doubles Time episodes we've had during the Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire phase. We've barely had any. This was a newer series. So thank you for just joining us in general. Again, we'll be back when Sun and Moon comes out. We'll get a facelift. It'll be cool. And Doubles Time will go back to being just like it'll be Doubles Battle Spots. So all Pokemon, almost all Pokemon are available. It'll be essentially VGC 2015 again. And then we'll have a separate series for VGC 2017 where we'll be using these kinds of teams exclusively. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining me. Be sure to hit that like button. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already to be sure to catch all the content coming up with Sun and Moon. And we'll see you next time. Stay sharp, everyone.